the man who bet against humanity, and lost. The late Stanford professor Paul Ehrlich became infamous in 1970 for predicting mass starvation within decades, appearing on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to deliver his grim forecast to a massive audience. Ehrlich's doomsday warnings, popularized in his book The Population Bomb, shaped global policy and fueled coercive measures like forced sterilization campaigns in India and China. Yet, history proved him spectacularly wrong. Hunger rates plummeted as food production exploded. Ehrlich's legacy isn't just about failed predictions. It reveals why catastrophic thinking remains seductive despite evidence to the contrary. The book's opening lines, declaring that hundreds of millions will starve to death, epitomized his alarmist approach. He forecast 65 million deaths in the US by 1989, the UK reduced to impoverished islands by 2000, and India unable to feed its growing population. Each prediction failed spectacularly as global food supply tripled and hunger declined. The core miscalculation, underestimating human ingenuity. Ehrlich's mistake wasn't merely demographic. He ignored the power of innovation. While population growth was indeed surging in the 1960s, the world was already undergoing a demographic transition with falling fertility rates due to urbanization, education, and contraception. Ehrlich assumed this wouldn't apply to the global south, a fatal flaw. More importantly, he failed to account for figures like Norman Borlaug, whose high-yield wheat varieties transformed agriculture in developing nations. Ehrlich's zero-sum worldview saw people as a burden, while Borlaug believed in human problem-solving. This difference shaped their impact. Ehrlich advocated cutting aid to hopeless nations, justifying real-world coercion, while Borlaug's work directly averted famine. The 1980 bet that exposed the flaw economist Julian Simon challenged Ehrlich to a bet in 1980. Commodity prices would fall, not rise, as human ingenuity would overcome scarcity. Ehrlich lost, proving that people are the ultimate resource. Yet, even after being disproven, Ehrlich doubled down. In 2009, he claimed his predictions were too optimistic, and in 2023, at age 90, warned of imminent societal collapse. His refusal to revise his views highlights a dangerous pattern. Why doomsaying persists. The world listens to doomsayers because of an evolutionary bias toward negative information. Confident, dramatic voices like Ehrlich get airtime while nuanced optimism is ignored. The incentive structure favors predicting disaster. Being right earns praise, while being wrong is forgotten. This is why Ehrlich's obituary in the New York Times called his predictions premature, not wrong. The true lesson isn't dismissing environmental concerns. Climate change and biodiversity loss remain critical. Instead, it's recognizing that assuming agency leads to better policy. Write off a nation, and you justify cutting aid. Assume people are the problem, and you sterilize them against their will. Simon's forgotten line remains relevant. The ultimate resource is people, skilled, spirited, and hopeful people who will exert their wills and imaginations. This may not sell on late-night television, but it's the foundation for a better future.